everybody, and welcome to Bernardotech. Today I have what I think will be an exciting review for you. This is an external hard drive bay that I received courtesy of IcyDock, and I'm going to take a look at this today. I'm going to take it out of the box, look at some of the specifications, some of the features of it, and then I'm actually going to give it a try and redo some benchmarks and see how it works. Now, if you're interested in purchasing this product, I'm also going to put a link in the description below to where you can purchase it and also get more information on it. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look inside. So here's everything that comes in the box. Obviously, we have the unit itself here. We have two different interface cables, USB 3.0 and eSATA. We have some mounting screws to mount the drives into the trays or the sleds, whichever you call it. And then finally we have an instruction manual. Looks like it's in several different languages, including English, and several pages of instructions in each language. And finally we have the power adapter. Now, before we go any further, let's take a look at some of the requirements and specifications. Obviously, this is available in a couple different model numbers. One is silver and white in color, and the other is black. Obviously, we have the one that is silver and white. It can use both 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch SATA drives. It can be SATA 1, 2, or 3. Obviously, an SSD will work just fine as well. It connects to your computer by either an eSATA port or USB 3.0. Notice that you have to have the port multiplier feature on your eSATA port. I'm not sure how common that feature is, so we'll take a look at that a little later and try it on a few devices. Here it talks about the transfer rates. USB 3.0 is up to 5 gigabits per second. eSATA is up to 6 gigabits per second. It has an 80mm fan, which is actually removable, and we'll show you that after a bit. It has various fan modes, high, low, and auto. It'll work with any version of Windows from Windows XP all the way up to Windows 10 and just about any version of Mac OS X. I'm not sure if it works with Linux or not, but I will figure that out before the end of this review. Talks about a few of the hardware requirements here that we've already talked about as far as the eSATA interface. Obviously USB 2 or 3 will work as well. As far as material, it's made out of aluminum with some plastic here and there, and I can tell you that my first impression is that it's quite a solid unit. It's very heavy. And finally, here we have the dimensions and the weight and the package contents. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the unit itself. Here we have 4 drive trays or drive sleds in the front. These are made out of hefty steel or aluminum, and you can see there's 4 mounting holes if you want to put a 2.5-inch drive in this. If you put a 3.5-inch drive, you'll mount it from the side. We got holes on either side. You'll notice a small pinhole just to the left of each of these sleds, and that is for the LED, which we'll take a look at the function of a little later. On the back, the first thing we see is this large 80mm fan. There's a little clip on the bottom. We can actually take that off if we would like to do that. Notice there's 2 metal contacts right here, and that's what gives it power when you have it attached. I'll leave that off for now and take a look at what's below it. First of all, we have a power plug. We have a switch to turn it on and off. Here we have a fan control, either high, low, or auto. And finally, we have the connectors for the 2 different interface options, eSATA and USB. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple drives in these trays and hook it to the computer and see how it works. Well, I'm back, and it's been just over a week since I recorded the first part of the video, and I've had plenty of time to give this device a good try. I've tried several different kinds of drives in it. I've tried both of the different interfaces. I've tried it on several different computers. I have to say I'm pretty pleased with it, and I thought I'd just give you a quick summary of my thoughts. First of all, just look and feel. As I mentioned before, it's a very hefty feeling unit. Even before you put the drives in, everything's very sturdy. The drive trays themselves are also very sturdy. If you take a look at them, this metal looks flimsy, but it's not. There's no flex. This is very solid. Everything is very sturdy. Obviously, it's a good looking unit as well. That's obviously a matter of opinion, of course. But you know, if it fits well with a modern decor, kind of a sleek futuristic look to it. Now, as far as looks go, I might mention that I like the LEDs. They're kind of a white glow. They come on solid when there's a drive in the bay, and they blink when there's activity, reading or writing to the drive. But I like them because they're not crazy bright. Sometimes these devices have really harsh LEDs on them, especially if it's a dim room. It's very bright. But these are bright enough to see, but yet they're not anything that's going to hurt your eyes or give you a headache or anything. One thing I might say starting out, I told you I would try it on Linux, and it works just fine with Linux. It's very simple to set up, as you would expect. You just put the drives in the trays, you hook it to the computer, and those drives show up to the operating system, whether it be Windows or Linux. Now, as I told you, I'm also going to do some benchmarks. I've actually done a good many of those already, but I'm not quite ready to compile those and put those in a video just yet. I want to hook up the eSATA port to a couple different computers and do a few more comparisons, and then I'll lay all that out for you in another video, which I'll release in the coming weeks. But until then, I'll just say that I'm quite impressed with the device. It's very well built, nice looking, and it seems to do the job quite well. If you have any questions for me, please put those in the comments below. I'll try to respond to them as quickly as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.